Have you ever felt like you have nothing to offer the world? Trapped by circumstances, believing your only option is to ask, to take, to receive? It's a feeling many of us can understand. But what if I told you that a simple shift in mindset could transform your entire reality? This is the incredible story of a beggar who became a successful entrepreneur, and it all started with one powerful lesson. Imagine a man sitting on a busy street corner, his hand outstretched, his voice a quiet plea for spare change. For years, this was his life. Saw himself as someone with nothing, a person defined by what he lacked. He believed his only role was to receive whatever charity came his way. He was, in his own mind and in the eyes of many, just a beggar. One day, a well-dressed entrepreneur walked past. The beggar extended his cup, but the entrepreneur simply shook his head. He didn't offer a coin. Instead, he offered something far more valuable, a piece of wisdom. He looked the beggar in the eye and said, "I'd gladly give you something, but you have nothing to offer me in return." Business is about exchange, about mutual value. The beggar was stunned. He had never thought of it that way. The entrepreneur continued, "If you truly believe you have nothing to give, then you have no right to ask for anything. It's a law of life." With those words, he walked away, leaving the beggar with a spinning mind and a seed of an idea. For the first time, the beggar didn't just see his empty cup. He saw the world through a new lens. He looked at the few coins he received each day and realized the entrepreneur was right. People were giving out of pity, not in exchange for any value. He had been focused only on taking, never on giving, and that had to change. His gaze fell upon a patch of vibrant wildflowers growing nearby. An idea sparked. What if he could offer something beautiful, something from the earth, in return for the kindness he received? It was a small gesture, but it was something asterisk. He decided to try. The next day he gathered a small bouquet of wildflowers. When someone dropped a coin into his cup, he handed them a flower with a smile. At first, people were surprised. But soon, their reactions changed. They weren't just giving spare change anymore. They were engaging, smiling back, and their donations became more generous. They weren't just giving to a beggar. They were participating in an exchange. For the first time, the man felt a flicker of pride. He was providing something of value. Weeks passed. His corner of the street became known for the flower man. He learned which flowers were the most popular, where to find the freshest blooms, and how to arrange them beautifully. His income grew, but more importantly, so did his self-respect. He was no longer just asking for money. He was running a tiny one-man operation. One afternoon, he saw the same entrepreneur approaching. This time, there was no hesitation. The man stood up, holding a beautiful, hand-picked bouquet.
"Sir,"
he said with newfound confidence, "would you like to buy a flower?" The entrepreneur's face broke into a wide smile. He took out his wallet, not to give a handout, but to make a purchase. As he paid for the flowers, he looked at the man and said, "You're a smart businessman. You've understood the core principle. You're an entrepreneur." Those words struck him like lightning. Entrepreneur, not beggar. He looked at the money in his hand, money earned, not given. He looked at the flowers people were carrying away, and it finally clicked. He wasn't a beggar anymore. He was a merchant. He was a flower seller. People weren't paying him. They were paying for his flowers, for the beauty and joy he was providing. This realization was the final piece of the puzzle. It unlocked a new level of ambition and drive within him. He started saving his money, investing it back into his small enterprise. He found a supplier for a wider variety of flowers, bought a small cart to display them, and his little corner stand began to flourish. 6 months later, a formal invitation arrived at the entrepreneur's office. It was for the grand opening of a new floral shop downtown called the Blooming Exchange. When the entrepreneur arrived, he was greeted at the door by the owner, the very same man from the street corner, now dressed in a smart suit, his eyes shining with purpose and success. They stood not as a businessman and a beggar, but as two equals, to entrepreneurs who understood the fundamental law of value. The man shared his journey, explaining how that one conversation had completely shattered his old identity and allowed him to build a new one. This story isn't just about flowers or money, it's about the incredible power of mindset. The man on the street corner had the potential all along. He had hands to pick flowers, eyes to see beauty, and a mind to create a plan. The only thing holding him back was his own belief that he had nothing to offer. He had to stop seeing himself as a beggar to become a businessman. How many of us walk through life believing we are defined by our limitations? We focus on what we don't have, the money, the connections, the talent, and we forget to look at what we do have. Your time, your kindness, your unique skills, your perspective, these are all valuable assets. Life is a grand exchange. When you shift your focus from what you can get to what you can give, the entire dynamic changes. You move from a position of scarcity to one of abundance. You stop being a passive recipient of circumstances and become an active creator of your own destiny. So, I ask you, what is your wildflower? What is that small, unique thing you can offer to the world today? It doesn't have to be grand or revolutionary. It just has to be an authentic expression of the value that resides within you. The moment you start seeing yourself not as someone who needs, but as someone who provides, is the moment your entire world can begin to change. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that can help you unlock your own potential. See you in the next one.